Hey, and welcome to the first episode of Son and Pops on Pop Culture. My name's Chris, and this is my son,
Caden.
All right, aka Pops and Son. All right, so what we're going to do on this podcast, we're going to either be talking about comics, movies, or toys, because I'm a grown man, but I'm also interested in comics and toys. So today, though, we're going to talk about some movies we've seen over the past year, and we're going to talk about three of them in particular. And unfortunately, I don't think any of the ones we're going to talk to were received particularly well by critics. But what I'm interested in is, how does a 7-year-old feel about superhero movies? Because at the end of the day, superhero movies are either for kids or the adults that grew up watching them. So let's see what we think about it. So the first movie I wanted to talk about was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Caden, what were your thoughts on this film?
I liked it.
That's an understatement. Did you like it or did you love it?
I loved it.
That's right. How many times a week would you say you watch this movie on average?
5.
Yeah, maybe not 5. Dude watches this movie like a couple times a week, so he really likes it. What's your favorite toy right now that you got for Christmas besides the multi-game table?
The Technodrome.
All right, and who has the Technodrome and Out of the Shadows?
The Krang.
The Krang. All right, so what makes this movie better to you than the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
The first one was pretty boring to me.
Why was it boring, you think?
It didn't have that big garbage truck in it, and it didn't have jokes. It barely had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it.
Bingo, right there. When you go to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, you probably want to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You didn't get a lot of that in the first movie. You didn't get a lot of the villains kids love. What villains were in this movie that weren't in the first movie?
Bebop and Rocksteady and the Krang.
There you go. So he got a lot more fan service, really, just for a kid than what he gets in the other movie. For me, I thought it was basically the same as the other movie that Michael Bay made. A lot of CGI, some funny jokes in between. You know, wasn't as dark as maybe what I was looking for. But that being said, it's for kids, and as a kid, you loved it. If you had to eat it as a pizza, would you eat the whole thing, or would you only eat a couple slices?
The whole thing!
8 slices for this guy. 4 out of 8 slices for me. Next movie I wanted to talk about was Batman v Superman. It's a movie I've been looking for years as a comic book fan. So I had a lot of expectations for this movie coming in. A lot of people didn't like this movie. A lot of people thought it was too dark. The plot meandered. That's all true. For me, I didn't think it was as bad as everyone said. I thought the plot was cohesive at the end of the day. Definitely the editing was jumpy. Definitely had a lot of fun with Ben Affleck as Batman. Superman's a little bit wooden. Really hoping that when the new Justice League movie comes out, they can maybe add a little bit more humor and try not to take itself quite so seriously. Definitely way less of the way less Lex Luthor, because that was awful. Or let's tone it back a bit. What were your thoughts on Batman vs Superman?
Well, I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the movie? Did you like when Batman fought Superman?
Yeah.
That part was pretty cool. What was your problem with that, though? How long do you think it took to get to Batman fighting Superman?
Like an hour and 30 minutes.
Right, so I think that's been a lot of people's criticism of the movie. It takes an hour and a half to get to Batman versus Superman. And the other problem with the movie is I think they were trying to build off the whole Dark Knight Returns element. Problem is that they don't really earn it. Like, we're not really sure, why does Batman hate Superman so much? It's kind of weird. He doesn't really have any motivation for it. So this movie I don't think worked that much for Caden. You thought it was okay, but you didn't like it as much as you probably would have thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like a 6 out of 8 slices just for the sheer entertainment value. For Caden, what do you think? 4?
Yeah,
4 slices. Final thing we wanted to talk about today was Suicide Squad. This is a movie I thought was unfairly blasted. Sure, Enchantress was horrible. That part of the movie was ugh. But Margot Robbie and Will Smith have charisma in spades. As a fan of the comics, I thought it did a fair amount of justice. I know some people took issue with what they did with Waller. I didn't mind. I thought she was evil. I wouldn't mess with her. I'd definitely give that movie a 6 out of 8 slices. How about you, Caden?
I would give the movie almost 6 out of 8 slices.
And what'd you think about Joker?
I thought he was weird.
Yeah, I did too. That was probably my biggest issue with the movie. So I think that's all we had to say. So we give 4 slices for him, 6 slices for me on that final movie. Catch you next time.